Let's go. We're
Let's ram
advancing.
it.
Rams are going to the NFC Championship. Jordan, how do we feel?
Man, stressful game. All respect to the Bears. They were an extremely tough opponent. You would have liked to maybe seen a cleaner game out of the group, but you survive and advance. You live to fight another day. What's the thing they keep saying? What's the mantra they keep saying all year? Earn the right,
Yeah,
right?
earn the right.
You earn the right to play in the NFC Championship, and you earn the right to keep your dream alive. So, we're rolling into Seattle, and I will say I'm not feeling optimistic about how yesterday went, but I think by Sunday I'll be feeling a lot better, and I still think we're the better team than Seattle.
Wow. Okay. There's a lot to go over. We last week we went over our win over the Panthers. We weren't exactly too thrilled about how the team played. I feel like it's a little similar this week. We're not too thrilled about how they played, but we're just happy they got out of there and won. It's a road playoff win. We said the same thing last week. And one thing I'd like to point out, the whole narrative was, oh, the Rams barely beat the Panthers. They barely beat an 8-9 team by only 3 points. Well, guess what? Now we beat a really good team by 3 points in overtime. So what are they going to say now? You know what I mean? So there's no excuses this time. Did Stafford play his best game? No. Did the Rams overall play their best game? No. Did Sean McVay call his best game? Definitely not. But the Rams found a way to win because great teams find a way to win those kind of games. So the Rams are going to the NFC Championship to take on Cooper Kupp and the Seattle Seahawks. I'm so excited. The Rams have not been to the NFC Championship since the year they won the Super Bowl in the 2021-2022 season. But yeah, let's go over it. Rams Bears. I mean, we go out of the gates and we come up with an interception, Kobe Durant, and then we go down the field and score. What's going through your mind when this is going on?
I mean, I will say the Bears they started off kind of going down the field a little bit, and then we get the big interception. I was feeling so good, like literally everything felt like it was going right. And then right when it feels like everything's going right, man, our offense was just so stagnant the rest of the game. I felt like we did not run the ball nearly enough.
No.
They kinda got it cooking a little bit more in the second half. Shout out Kyren Williams, obviously. He was the only bright spot besides winning the game yesterday. He was amazing, obviously. He probably the best game of his career just when you consider all the, the
The
situation
situation.
and everything on the line. He had probably the best game of his career when we needed him to. So, shout out Kyren. I think he's one of the most underrated running backs in the league. And right when I always think, it's time for Blake to step up and take over, Kyren has one of these games, man, and just shows you why he is an elite running back.
Absolutely. I think in our group chat here for JTSN, the JT Sports Network, we were talking about it with Rune, and you mentioned that you need Blake Corum to step up, and I doubled down and I said we need Kyren Williams and Blake Corum to step up, and thankfully Kyren did. Blake Corum wasn't out there too much, which I don't look. I'm Blake Corum's. I'm probably the biggest Blake Corum fan there is. I'm a Michigan fan and a Rams fan, but I'm glad Kyren was out there for most of the carries because he is your number one running back. He is a top 10 running back in football at least. And when he can hold on to the ball, he's probably even better than that. And he's been really good at doing that lately, knock on wood. But yeah, he's been really good. I expected a big game out of him, especially in the weather conditions that you knew throwing the ball down the field wasn't going to be as much of an option. So I'm glad that Kyren was able to step up. He had 2 touchdowns and helped us win the game. So the Bears actually came back tied at 7-7. They take the lead 10-7. Rams go down the field. They get into field goal range before halftime. Mevis ties it up. It's 10-10. We go into the half 10-10. What are your thoughts at that point in the game?
I was frustrated, man. I felt like through the first half, honestly, I felt like the Bears outplayed us. It felt like they were going up and down the field almost every time. It was just situational football. Luckily, and most of the big moments, right up until the end of the fourth quarter, the defense made some big plays on fourth down when they needed to, so we held them to 10 points. I was really pleased with like that last drive to go down and tie it at 10-10 going into halftime. That really saved you the game. You probably don't survive the day without that. So,
Yeah.
that was huge for sure.
Yeah, and it's huge to get that field goal to tie the game because obviously it saved them the game, saved them the season. They don't go down there and they kick the field goal, then they end up losing that game 17-14 in regulation. Um, the third quarter, not a lot happened. No points in the third quarter, so I would say we can kind of skip right over that. But the Rams defense played incredible in this quarter. They
Yeah.
came up with a bunch of big stops. Then they did the same thing in the fourth quarter. Kyren Williams gives the Rams the lead 17-10. It's looking good. And then the Rams, the Bears come down the field. They have fourth and goal at the 2-yard line, and the Rams come up with a stop. And you're thinking, all right, this is it. A few first downs, we got it. Kyren Williams runs for a first down, unfortunately goes out of bounds, which kind of hurt them in the moment. They come close to getting another first down. They have, 3rd and 8, and they run the ball, which I really didn't get at all. That saved them 7 seconds before the 2-minute warning. I don't like that play call at all. But the Bears get the ball back, and this is it right here. It's 4th and 4. This is it. If the Rams get a stop, they win the game. They're going to the NFC Championship, and Caleb Williams turns into the second coming of Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes and any good quarterback you can possibly think of combined. Off his back foot, rolls back, goes back 20 yards, chucks it up, and Cole Kmet is there in the end zone, and the Bears tie the game. Now, what is going through your
Oh my
head
gosh.
when this happens?
Man, I was losing it. I literally took my hat off, threw it across the room. It was despicable, disgusting, horrific. Shout out Kobe Durant. I don't want to completely bash Kobe Durant because I do love Kobe Durant. He
Me
has
too.
been a great player for us. I don't remember when we drafted him or if he was undrafted, but he's a homegrown guy.
Mhm.
I have so much love for the player. That was I truly think it's it's hindsight because we won, so in a way it doesn't matter, but that was the worst defensive miscue that I can personally remember as a Rams fan. Like that is pathetic, unexcusable, ridiculous. Under no circumstances. That's ridiculous for a high school level. For
Yeah.
that to happen at the NFL in the playoffs like that on the last play like that. Oh my God. I was sick, man. I was so sick. And I was even more furious at that point. I think we had like 13 seconds left and I think 2 timeouts, and we just needed into go into overtime. I was like, "Oh my goodness, this team is
Yeah.
driving me crazy."
Yeah.
Thank God we held on, and it was an ugly overtime too, man.
It was.
For sure. Like I thought for sure we were gonna lose. I thought the Bears outplayed us, but it's like you said, great teams find a way to win when you get outplayed, when you don't have your best day. And I didn't like the weather narrative all week, but I think it's pretty safe to say that the weather played a major factor. Our offense was pathetic besides like a handful of drives that game. And Stafford, he just had a bad game, man.
Yeah.
He was under pressure all day. The O-line wasn't good enough. It was a mess of a game, but miraculously we find a way to win, man. I'll let you take over. I know I went on a little bit of a rant there, but yeah, that was so frustrating. Such a frustrating game, but we survived.
Yeah, we survived, like you said. Speaking of Stafford, I did want to go over that a little bit. That's back-to-back games in the playoffs where I have not been satisfied with the way Matt Stafford has played. Game one, you're like, okay, he didn't have a good game. It's against not a good team. That's a little concerning. But Matt Stafford, he'll never have a bad game 2 games in a row. Now we get to the cold in Chicago against the Bears, and he has another not good game. He just didn't play well. And
No.
it's hard to criticize him because he's probably the MVP. In our eyes, he's definitely the MVP. We'll see if he wins it in a few weeks. But he's been great all year. He really hasn't had back-to-back bad games. And now, come playoff time, he has, but the Rams find ways to win those games. And now they're headed to Seattle to play Cooper Kupp. Speaking of Cooper Kupp, my dog Cooper just came in the room. Hi, Cooper. Um, but yeah, I mean, he has not been great. There's just a lot of throws that he's just way off on, and it's a bit concerning. Is that concerning to you at all, or you're not concerned about Stafford?
I will say it was concerning yesterday because we almost lost, but I want to try to give Stafford some credit. Those were really tough conditions. And I think we got out coached, man, honestly. I think Dennis Allen came in with a game plan and he had McVay completely locked up. We couldn't do anything. Like, I know McVay doesn't play, but the play calling was pitiful. We were all three
I
talking
agree.
about it in that group chat. It was god awful, man. It's got to be better than that. And some of these plays too, I don't even know what we're thinking. Like one of them, I remember specifically, we give Whittington a reverse on like the weirdest play. I'm just like, and then we try a similar thing the next play and end up wasting a timeout. I'm just like, man, what are we doing? What
Yeah,
are we doing on offense? And there were so many drives where it was just like what you said last week: deep pass, deep pass, deep pass, punt. And I'm just
yeah,
like, man, this has got to be better at the play calling. I think luckily, skipping ahead to next week, we have a familiar foe in an offense that, I mean, a defense that we did have a lot of success against last week. So I'm praying the guys can get it together for the NFC Championship, but it was concerning. And the O line play was concerning to me too. They were
I
horrible.
agree. I agree. And the main thing about this Bears defense last night that was really weird, they kept blitzing their secondary. Their corners kept blitzing. They were coming with a corner safety blitz, and nobody was picking it up. The running backs weren't picking it up. The guards or the tackles weren't picking it up, and it was like, what is going on? Like you kept seeing Stafford call an audible because he saw that they were blitzing, and then they would blitz and they wouldn't pick it up, or he would call an audible and because they thought they were blitzing and then they wouldn't blitz.
Yeah.
It was just the offense just couldn't get it together, which is definitely something concerning, especially when you're now going to play a team like Seattle, who has the best defense in the NFC, in my opinion, maybe in the league. I mean, they have a scary defense, and that's definitely something to be concerned about. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm terrified, but because I want to have some confidence in our Rams, but this is definitely something that is a bit of a concern. I think you would agree with me on that. Like, if you're going to play one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in football in the Seattle Seahawks, your offense needs to get it together. They cannot play how they've played the last 2 weeks offensively and go into Seattle and win that game. It is not going to happen. So they're definitely going to need to step it up, get it together, and figure things out. But another thing I do want to cover, we're go to the other side of the ball, is 3 interceptions by the defense. I mean, I'll get your thoughts on in a second. I want to share my thoughts first, but all year long, I feel like the offense has been bailing out the defense, and it's actually kind of cool to see now the defense bails out the offense because this it proves that this is such a team sport. This isn't basketball where you can have one guy like LeBron or Kobe or Jordan, and he just carries the whole team and wins a championship. Football is more of a team sport, and if your offense isn't good, the defense got to be there to pick you up. If the defense isn't good, the offense has got to be there to pick you up. It is a team sport, and that's exactly what we saw last night against Chicago. The defense stepped up and helped them get the win. So I want to hear your thoughts on the defense. We had 3 interceptions, 2 from Kobe Durant, the land shark, and then 1 from Cam Curl. What are your thoughts overall on the defense's performance last night?
Yeah, shout out Kobe Durant. Obviously, 3 interceptions in the postseason so far. That is incredible, incredible
Yeah.
performance. And Cameron Curl, I saw something on Instagram last week ranking every team's best and worst player from the wild card round. And this post on Instagram literally graded Cameron Curl as our worst player on the whole team from the Panthers game.
Really?
So that's what they said. I didn't agree with that.
No.
But they said he was horrible against the Panthers. So then he comes back last week and saves the day. I think he was player of the game. I think he did get the player of the game on TV as well.
He did.
But obviously he saved the season. Cameron beep beep curl like McVay said in the post
Yeah.
game. You know, McVay was going crazy. I love that. I was going crazy too. Um, the defense, I did like a lot of things. Shout out Nate Landman. He was really good, like we were hoping for. Cameron Curl was great. The concern for me, we got the pressure, 0 sacks. We had Caleb Williams out there looking like Michael Vick some of the times. It was greatly concerning. Obviously Caleb Williams, he had a couple of mistakes, but he's a special athlete. He's very young, and the talent is just off the charts with him. I think the ceiling is very, or the future is very bright for the Bears, I should say.
Yeah.
All
Oh, yeah.
credit to them, but the defense played great. That one miscue at the end of the game was obviously horrible, but besides that, they won you the game, like you said. Also, shout out Mevis playing all 3 sides of the ball. Mevis, he had a great game, you know, made his extra points, made his 2 field goals, and shout out long snapper Jake McQuaid. I saw him roughing it up in there, getting some tackles. So
Let's
it was
go.
a great effort by the special teams mostly, and the defense held on. So hopefully the defense can get some of that pressure on Darnold next week, get some of those ghosts coming in the NFC Championship. We had 9 sacks on this man last year in the in the wild card round. So
Yep.
let's get some of that going, man. We can get to Darnold for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, they got to get pressure on him. I feel like he's one of the quarterbacks in the league where if you get pressure on him, I don't want to say panics, but doesn't have that like calm, cool, and collected gene where like a guy like maybe Mahomes or Burrow or Allen or Stafford would have. I feel like if you get pressure on him, good things are going to happen. Even if it's not a sack, you get pressure on him. Maybe he makes a bad throw. Maybe he throws into double coverage. Maybe we get a pick. Maybe he fumbles. Like you never know. And so I think getting pressure on him is definitely a huge factor. Um, and if this defense plays the way they played this past week against Chicago, I have a good feeling that the Rams are going to be NFC champions. So but another thing I did want to talk about, just the playoffs overall, not just the Rams. We made our predictions at the beginning of the playoffs, and we are what 10 for 10 or
10
whatever
for
it is.
10. We have
10 for 10.
From our
We got
video 2 weeks ago, we have not missed a single game. I've texted everyone bragging about that.
That's so sick, dude. And all we need is 3 more predictions to be right. We're 10 for 10. All we need is to be 3 for 3. We need the Rams to beat the Seahawks, which is going to be obviously tough, but it can happen. And then we need Jared Stidham to beat the Patriots. And then we need the Rams to beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
if all goes well, we could have a perfect bracket at the end of this. Right now we're 10 for 10. Let's go over it. We had what? We had the Bears beating the Packers. They ended up coming
Yep.
back and winning the game. We had the Niners upsetting the Eagles. We got that right. We
Yep.
had the Rams beating the Panthers. Got that right. That's 3 for 3. We had the Patriots beating San Diego, or
Yep.
sorry, LA. We had them beating them. That was correct. We had we had Houston beating the Steelers. We got that right. We had Buffalo beating Jacksonville, I believe. We
Yep.
had them
We
beating
did.
Jacksonville. Yeah, that's 6 for 6 in the first round, so perfect. Then we go to the second round. We had the Broncos beating the Bills. We got that right.
Yep.
We had the Patriots beating the Texans. We got that right. We had the we had the Seahawks beating the Niners. We got that right. And then we had the Rams beating the Bears. We got that right. So we're 10 for 10 on our
Crazy.
picks so far.
We should have
Maybe
made a bet.
we should have. We should have entered one of those like bracket things, dude. We'd be perfect right now. That would be crazy. But and it's not like, oh, we just picked all the favorites. There have been some upsets. We picked the Niners to beat
Right.
the Eagles. I mean, we had some upsets in there. We had I think a lot of people had Buffalo beating Denver, and we
Yeah.
had Denver winning that game. Even though Denver's the 1 seed, we had them winning, and we were right on that pick. So, um, I will say I did put down a little bet for the Texans to beat the Patriots yesterday, and
Oh, no.
that did not go so great. But our predictions at the beginning of the playoffs were the Patriots beat the Texans, so I still think that counts. That definitely
Got it.
counts. We're right. So we're 10 for 10. Hopefully our bracket will finish perfect because not even for our sake, but for the Rams' sake, because we had the Rams beating the Broncos. So hopefully we go 13 for 13. Do you think there's a good chance of that happening?
Man, I don't know, I do know Jarrett Stidham is getting the start, feels so horrible for Bo Nix, he's had such a
Yeah.
great season, and he gets so much hate, I'm not a Broncos fan, but I hear all the hate that Bo Nix gets, everyone doesn't think he's that great mostly, but,
Mm,
shout out Bo Nix, he's gonna come back and have a good career.
yeah.
As for Jarrett Stidham, I am familiar with him, he's been around the league for a while. He's capable of, playing on a short-term basis, and he's got a good arm. He's a professional. I don't think he's a starting caliber quarterback like he proclaimed in, his interview when they drafted Bo Nix. I know that's been going viral lately, but I think he's capable, and I've actually seen a lot of Broncos fans online. They're feeling good about Jarrett Stidham. They
Mm.
think he can get it done, and, I saw, I'm not an Eagles fan by any means, but I thought this was funny. Nick Foles tweeted out and was like, "Don't worry, Broncos fans, Patriots struggle against backup quarterbacks and get
Oh
good." So,
man.
shout out Nick Foles, always when you can stick it to the Patriots, I like that, but
Yeah. I don't know if
I will, give some credit to the Patriots. I maybe slept on them a little bit, man. They're a
yeah.
great team. I wanted to always give them credit. I just thought they were a little young, but they've
Mhm.
had, I've seen the notion with the easy playoff run, but man, they've dominated Houston and, San Diego. So
Yeah.
I've gotta give all the credit to the Patriots right now, and if I had a gun to my head betting on the line, I'd probably lean towards the Patriots over Denver right now, to be completely
Yeah.
honest with you.
I would too, and I think if Bo Nix is in that game, it's a little different. Cooper apparently agrees. So I think it's definitely different if Bo Nix is playing in that game, but it's gonna be interesting to see. Obviously, we're more concerned about the game that's in the NFC between the
Yes.
Rams and Seahawks, but I think realistically, I think Denver can win that game because if you look at it, what are they known for? They're known for their defense. They're not known for their off. I mean, Bo Nix is great. They have a good offense. Don't get me wrong. They have a great receiving core, but they're more known for their defense. So I feel like that would be the way they win this game is a low scoring game, maybe like a 20-17 game like the Rams beat the Bears, like their defense steps up. Stidham doesn't have to turn into Tom Brady. He just has to do his job, manage the game correctly and not turn the ball over too many times. And I think the Broncos can win this game. I definitely think they can.
Yeah, and just speaking a little more to that, they have no film on Jarrett Stidham whatsoever. So the Patriots are kind of
Sure.
going in blind, and now everyone's thinking, "Oh well, Bo Nix is out. The Broncos are done." So they're kind of playing with house money a little bit. So they're at home. They got the great defense. Maybe Jarrett Stidham can make a few throws and put the Broncos into the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you never know. And according to our predictions, he will go to the Super Bowl. Maybe in our bracket, we didn't necessarily predict Bo Nix to break his ankle and have Jared Stidham come in and take them to the Super Bowl. But if the Broncos win, then I consider that a correct prediction. So, but let's focus more on the other game, the game that we care about the most. It's Rams-Seahawks. I do want to point out, I know I care about this part of the game more than anybody does. The Rams are playing Cooper Kupp. That is my favorite, probably my favorite athlete of all time between him, Kershaw, and Kobe. Those are my three favorites. I think that the Cooper Cup's by far my favorite football player, my favorite Ram of all time.
Wow.
Without him, we don't win that Super Bowl. And the whole last 5 years is a whole lot different without Cooper Cup. Uh, I wish they would have kept him. I I'm not throwing any shade to any other receivers on the team, but I feel like it could have been worked out to keep him and still get Devontae Adams. I feel like we could have worked that out, but it's a shame he's not with us. I've been saying since he became a Seahawk that if the Rams don't win the Super Bowl, as much as I don't like the Seahawks, I actually hope the Seahawks win the Super Bowl if they beat us. If they beat us. And I think they will if they beat us. So I feel like if you were to write a script for the NFL, I feel like you couldn't write it any better in the NFC than the Rams release Cooper Kupp. he goes to their rival, and then they play each other in the NFC Championship. And they split in the regular season, 2 really good games that came down to the very last play, and they meet for a third time in the NFC Championship. I mean, I feel like you can't script that any better. I don't know what your thoughts are. I'll let you take the floor here, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, all credit to Cooper Cup. My brother sent me a picture of Cooper Cup, yesterday just ahead of our huge matchup because I too am obviously Cooper Cup. He is one of the best wide receivers of all time, in my opinion. I mean, he had the greatest wide receiver season in NFL history. Personally, my favorite Ram of all time would probably be Kurt Warner, but Cooper Cup, I mean, I used to always send this picture. I think I've mentioned this before. If nobody got me, Cooper Cup got me.
Yeah.
That was my mantra. So, um, it'll be definitely bittersweet. I texted my brother and was like, sometimes destiny hits you right in the face. So I think that's what this is. You've made your bed and you got to lie in it. You got to face your second biggest rival and your former legend, who's still
Yep.
playing, and now he's on the other guys. So you got to be ready for this challenge. It's not going to be easy. Like you said, they maybe have the best defense in all of football. They have a elite running game. They've got, probably the second best wide receiver in all of football. Their tight end is playing great. They're a great football team. They're well coached. Mike McDonald has done a great job. Their special teams are great. Dixon is one of the best punters in NFL history, in my opinion. He
Mhm.
actually has gotten overlooked for a long time. And they've got Jason Myers, right? I don't
Yeah.
remember their kicker. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. He actually had like the number one fantasy season out of any kicker this year
Oh,
for all
wow.
my fantasy fans out there, even better than Brandon Aubrey, who,
Wow.
walks on water in Cowboys Nation. So,
Yeah.
the Seahawks are a great opponent. I'll speak a little into this game and then I'll let you take over. I go to what I've been saying all playoffs long, and I still believe this. You look at these teams. We have by far the best quarterback. Look at these
Yeah.
coaches. Shout out Sean Payton. All love. We have the best coach out of all these coaches left in the
I agree.
playoffs. Um, and it hasn't been there, but I still have faith in this D line. I think they made some plays yesterday. They didn't get the sack, but I think we still have the best D line on paper left in these playoffs. So I think, and the best wide receiver in the league, maybe
Yeah.
even the best player in the league. Shout out Puka.
Yeah.
So we're gonna finish this off. I'm feeling confident going into the Seattle game. It's gonna be extremely close. It's gonna be a defensive game, in my opinion. I think they're gonna come to it defensively. I think there will be some scores. I think we're gonna come after Sam Darnold, and they'll get a couple of punches in too. I'll give an early score prediction. I'm gonna say 31-28 Rams win.
Okay. Um, I'll give my score prediction. I'll go Rams 30, Seattle 27, so very similar to yours. I'll go 1 point less for each team. Um, I would be very surprised if this isn't a complete nail biter like Chicago and the Carolina game was. I mean, I don't see either team blowing either team out. I especially don't see us blowing them out just because of what they did to San Francisco. And I will say, I normally don't say like, "Oh, I'm terrified that the Rams are going to lose," but I know I'm still not. But I feel like if there's any team that is going to really, I don't want to say dominate, but if there's any team that's going to end the Rams season, I feel like it would be Seattle because I think these are the two best teams in the league. So I think I feel like a lot of people would agree with this, but I think whoever wins this game is going to win the Super Bowl. I think I think if the Rams beat the Seahawks, they will go to Super Bowl 60 and they will beat either New England or Denver. And I think if Seattle beats the Rams, I think they will beat Denver or New England. And honestly, if the Broncos win like we predicted and then the Seahawks beat us, I think it's going to be very similar to how the last time the Seahawks and Broncos played in the Super Bowl. The Seahawks just beat the crap out of them because the Broncos aren't going to have their quarterback. I think the Seahawks are genuinely the better team. I think the Seahawks and Rams are the two best teams in football. So if the Seahawks can squeeze by and beat the Rams, I think they're going to have, I don't want to say an easy time in the Super Bowl because it's it's the Super Bowl, but I think they're going to have their way against whoever they play. So I will say I have nothing but respect for that organization. I don't like the Seahawks. They're our rivals. I've always hated them. You would have thought I was a Patriots fan when Malcolm Butler made that interception all those years ago. Seriously, my dad and I were jumping up and down like crazy. It's you
No,
know,
I'm right
you
there
would
with you for sure.
yeah, you would have thought I was a diehard Patriots fan. I couldn't stand that Seahawks team. But now that they have my favorite player, they picked him up when I don't think a lot of teams were willing to pay him that, but they did. So I'll always have respect for the Seahawks organization, even though I don't like them. I respect them, and if they do beat us, I hope they go and win the whole thing. That being said, I think the Rams are going to win this game 30-27. I think the Rams go on the road 3 times in a row in the playoffs, and they go to SoFi North and they get it done there. I don't want to get ahead of myself and talk about the Super Bowl because we're not there yet. And if we do make the Super Bowl, we're going to have 2 whole weeks to talk about it. We'll have 2 episodes to talk about
Yeah.
it. So, um, what do we think the Super Bowl is going to be? Rams Patriots, Rams Broncos, Seahawks Patriots, Seahawks Broncos. What do you think it's going to be?
Man, I hate to predict it, but I think it's gonna be Rams Patriots, which as a 28-year-old Rams fan, that's pretty much my worst possible nightmare.
That gives
Um
me the bad PTSD flashbacks from my 8th grade year when we lost that game. The
yeah.
score I don't even like to mention, but go ahead.
Yeah, luckily, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick are not there anymore. So if we do beat the Seahawks and have to play the Patriots, it won't be quite like we lost to them the last 2 Super Bowls we played them. They
Mhm.
won't have Tom Brady, they won't have Bill Belichick and his crazy defensive scheme, but they're a great team now with Drake May, and they still got Josh McDaniels, who I'm not 100% sure, but I'm just gonna guess he was their offensive coordinator when they won the Super Bowl last time. And Mike Vrabel, he might have been on the 2001 Patriots team. If not, he's been around the Patriots organization forever. In 2018, I think he was with the Titans
Yeah.
coaching them. So, they're a great team. I do think we could beat the Patriots. I won't jump ahead and make any predictions. Let's focus on Seattle, and
Yeah.
finish them first. But if I had to guess, I'm thinking Rams Patriots Super Bowl. Just basically because of the Bo Nix injury, and I just think the Patriots are playing so dominant right now. I don't see Stidham, and J.K. Dobbins is out for Denver too. So your best quarterback and your best running back are both out. That's hard to overcome.
It definitely is hard to overcome. The only thing that really they have going is their defense, and that's one of the best defenses in the league. Surtain's probably the best corner in the league. They have an all around great team on the defensive side, so it's definitely going to be interesting. You have Rams Patriots. I'll I'll stick with that. I'll go Rams Patriots. Our predictions in the beginning of the bracket were Rams Broncos, so I don't like to switch up from that, but I feel like Bo Nix going down is a valid reason to switch our prediction. So I'll go Rams Patriots, but the Rams got to focus on Seattle first, like we both said. I had 30-27, you had 31-28, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which feels weird because I do think it'll be a defensive game, but I don't know. I think it's gonna be an explosive game too.
I mean, the last time we played them, it was 38-37, so it's not like it was the first time was 21-19. That's what
Yeah.
I kind of expected. But 38-37 last time, I think it'll be somewhere in the middle, so
Right.
30-27, 31-28, something like that. I mean,
Sounds about
I
right.
could yeah, it sounds about right. I could see either team winning this game, obviously. I don't think the Rams are gonna go into Seattle and destroy them. I don't think the Seahawks are gonna destroy us like they destroyed the Niners because 'cause we're a much better team than the Niners. So,
Agreed.
it's, it's gonna be interesting. It's definitely gonna be stressful, but like you said, survive in advance and just find a way to win. I don't care if it's because of the defense. I don't care if it's because of the offense. I don't care if we have to snatch their hearts, like Matt Stafford said. So there's definitely some things we need to clean up. Before we wrap this up, I do want to ask you: is if there's one thing you'd like to see the Rams change going into Seattle or improve at, what would it be?
Man, it's got to be that pass rush for me, man. You know, they had the pressure. You know, obviously you don't get some of those interceptions and defensive breakups without the pressure, but there's also some missed plays by that defensive line group too. And I think it's fair to say, because I have all respect for that whole group. I could go down the list. I think Josiah Stewart's going to be great. He went to Michigan, right?
Yeah, he did.
Shout out
Third round pick.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Jared Verse, Pro Bowler, Byron Young, Pro Bowler. I thought Byron Young was so quiet yesterday, just thinking, going through it.
Yeah.
I love Kobe Turner. I love Braden Fisk. I love Puna Ford. We just got to be better, man. We got to finish these plays. I thought we hit Caleb Williams, but we got to stack Sam Darnold, man. You got to finish these plays, man. We coined the word sack from our great legend, Deacon Jones.
That's
That's a
right.
Rams term. I
That's
need
right.
some sacks this NFC Championship. I need that Aaron Donald energy. Also, shout out before we go, Sean McVay 2-0 in the NFC Championship in his career. Fun fact for you. So,
Let's
and
go.
if we make it to this Super Bowl, McVay's been around for 9 seasons, and this would be his third Super Bowl appearance. So that'd be a
Wow.
third of his seasons, which I think, I think will happen. So
Yeah.
I love McVay. I think he will get this group coached up. I don't want to use the weather as an excuse, but I don't think it's an excuse. I think it's a fact. The weather was
Yeah.
awful and the offense was slowed down. So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll be better as a group. Pass rush, you got to improve. Let's get some sacks. Let's get Sam Darnold seeing some ghosts, and let's get back to the Super Bowl.
I love to hear it. Right before we go, let's listen to it one more time. Let's go. Do you know how to ram it? Let's ram it.
I love it.
You know how to ram. I say we're rocking LA. So let's ram it today. Let's ram it. Let's go. One more win, and we're in the Super Bowl. Ladies and gentlemen, this whole season, we've been saying it in the playoffs, and they keep winning. So we got to say it again. Jordan, it's been an absolute pleasure doing this podcast with you all year. I know I said this the last 2-3 episodes, but they keep winning, and I'm very superstitious, so I'm going to say it again. Jordan, it's been an absolute pleasure doing this podcast with you all year. Like I said last week, you know ball, so it's always a pleasure coming on here every Monday and talking Rams football with you, and I'm in Hamilton, New Jersey, so there's not too many Rams fans to talk Rams football with here besides myself and my dad. So I love doing it every single week. Hopefully this is not our last episode of the Rams season. Hopefully next week we're here. Super excited about how the Rams are in the Super Bowl and Super Bowl 60 for the third time in my lifetime. It would be the fourth or fifth time for you.
Oh
Fifth?
man, I not fifth. The one was in '79, so I think fourth.
Well,
I don't even know.
it would be the one
Oh
they
yeah,
won.
fifth. Oh, because
Yeah.
this would be our sixth Super Bowl. Right.
Yeah. No,
Wow,
it would be our
man.
seventh. It would be our
Seventh.
seventh, I think so.
Oh man, I'd
Because we
have to
lost
go
to
count it out.
we
We
lost to
had
the
one in the
Steelers.
'70s, the one in
We
the '90s, the one in the 2000s, and then this would be 3 with McVay, so that'd be 6.
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Okay.
6 Super
So
Bowls.
yeah, I guess I've been around for 5 of them. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
Hopefully this will be the third time you see them win, my second time seeing them win, but they got to
Yeah.
take care of Seattle first. So, Rams-Seahawks Sunday at 6:30.
Yeah.
I am going to be a nervous wreck, but yeah, we'll stay in touch. And ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy this podcast from the JT Sports Network, please consider subscribing and liking this video. We really appreciate it. If you're a Rams fan, comment down below. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. We're JT Sports Network on all socials. So go check us out. And as always, go Rams.
Horns up.